Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of SubculturedTV. My name's Tyler.
My name's Jess.
And I'm Chris.
So before we head into today's topics, which is just going to be going over anime news, I have one question for you guys. If you guys had to have one person as your teammate, who would you choose? TenTen or GrapeJuice?
TenTen from Naruto?
Yes, TenTen from Naruto and GrapeJuice from My Hero Academia.
Oh, man, some real star students here, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you go wrong with the only right choice? Grape juice.
Ooh.
Why grape juice?
Think about all the enemies you could stick together.
He's like sticky.
He could
There's
choose.
no way to say that in a good manner, but his sticky balls are not that strong.
I think he found the way. Yeah.
But he could choose how sticky he wants his balls to be.
I don't think that
If
would.
he wants them more slippery, he can have them more slippery.
I don't think that would hold a like S class enemy.
Yeah, not an S-class enemy
No.
like TenTen.
Yeah, I mean, TenTen's gonna get like 2 or 3 kunais out.
Whoa! In a second, maybe. Have you seen her speed? Can't even see her in the anime. Did you know she's in every episode of Naruto? You just can't see her because she's so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, with that accuracy too, right?
Not faster than her screen time, though.
Not faster than her screen time.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, this is probably really whack, but I actually had a crush on TenTen growing up.
Oh, wrong take.
Over Hinata?
Yeah, you know, Hinata really never did it for me.
Yeah, me neither.
Kurenai?
Oh, yeah, I mean, look, there's no reason I can't have multiple crushes when I was young.
Anko?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Look, I didn't say she was my number one, you know?
Was she in your top 5?
So would you
No.
actually have TenTen on your team though?
Over grape juice for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I could really deal with grape juice.
Yeah, well, okay, I for sure would go with TenTen, but that's because like,
You're a girl.
yeah, and I don't want to get assaulted by a mini man in a freaking diaper outfit
Also,
and sticky balls.
the only
Or
thing,
slippery balls.
the only thing that he could possibly bring to the team is his like one move set. TenTen is at least good for storing stuff.
Oh, that's right. She
You know?
she has
She's
the
like-
scrolls
yeah.
that can summon stuff.
Exactly.
You can just use her as
Well,
kind of a backpack.
Technically, 10-10, she can master anything, like any weapon, which is why, like,
She mastered the later
The-
weapons.
the
the-
Sage of 6 Paths,
Yeah.
I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
But yeah, those weapons after. The only thing is she has such minimal chakra. She was able to use it like once before she passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, most people can't even use them once.
Yeah.
She also, because of how small her chakra levels are, I feel like she can't do a lot of the things that regular shinobi do, which is like running faster, right? Jumping from tree to tree. Like, she doesn't have that skill set.
Unlike Grape Juice, have you not seen Grape Rush?
No.
His special move.
His special move is actually when he did this in the anime.
Wait, is that when he was fighting, or when they were fighting against the Gigantomachia and he did the...
No, Grape Rush is when that's a form of it, but he did it against Midnight when they were doing the testing.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
he put like a little scarf over him.
Yeah.
And was like, Grape Rush, and just ran away.
I don't think that the ability he has is worth the aggravation of having him on the team.
I guess it depends on who we're fighting and how many people we're fighting.
Let's say we're going against one S-class enemy.
So what's TenTen going to
you
do?
lose either way.
Yeah.
TenTen can still bring you the weapons.
No, but see, I could use grape juice, his sticky balls, to at least slow down the enemy, throw grape juice, so I can get away.
But we know that like when it comes to like S tier opponents, those things do nothing.
Nothing. So, like, I don't think that'll do anything. Whereas with TenTen, at least getting there, she has been a great help, you know, whether it's like bringing food along, right? I would for sure use her kind of like a mule. Like, she has like a huge backpack on top of her inventory that just like has food and stuff.
Infinite storage.
Yeah, because like, what's grape juice gonna do realistically? Like, outside of buying you time, which in this case he won't.
half a second might be all I need.
Spoken well out of context.
Can we just put that?
All right, let's get into some of the anime news. So, there has been confirmation that in the new Jujutsu Kaisen that there are going to be new character designs, just because it is going to be a flashback. We're going to see a lot of the characters actually at a younger age.
Yes.
Have you guys seen some of them?
I have seen the art drawings, and I've also read the manga for the seasons that we're about to go over.
Yeah. I would say some of them definitely had a glow up.
Ooh, yes.
So, for example, the guy with the cleaver, I always forget his name, even though he's like one of my favorites. The one that knows ratios.
Oh, Nanamin.
Yeah, Nanamin. And Nanamin had a glow up.
Yes.
Because I didn't really think his character in the past was that great.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah.
And I will have to say they did Gojo well.
Yeah.
So are you saying that was Gojo never a daddy? Or?
Oh, he went from like S tier daddy to like S tier underage. Can't call him a daddy because
I was like,
careful how you word that, Jess. So it was a good like translation of how they de-aged him.
So how would you say he was, Jess?
He was an S tier boy. I don't understand your question.
Yeah. Enter like SWAT music.
Yeah.
I don't even, not music. It just sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say, so in this flashback, basically we're going over when Gojo was younger and he was attending the school. So we get to see him, we get to see Geto.
And it's actually cool because with Gojo, because like this is when they start explaining his actual backstory, right?
Yes.
With his 6 eyes and his infinite curse.
So they touch on it in the manga, but I will say they announced that in the anime they're gonna animate things that were not in the manga. So basically to expand on the story. So I do think we're going to get a deeper backstory because in the manga, they do explain it, but they don't go in depth because it's so fast paced. They don't really spend that much time on it.
So do you have any fears that what they add to the manga might be a mistake?
No.
I mean, there's always a fear for me because I'm always like, because if they add or take something away, if it's important enough to the story where it can change its course.
Yeah.
Or it adds a plot hole, then yes, it bothers me.
Okay.
Based on how careful the Jujutsu Kaisen author is in terms of making sure that there are no plot holes, I really highly doubt that he would approve anything that would create any new plot holes.
And I do trust Mappa.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah.
So,
big Mappa fans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the animators, though.
Honestly, it's not that I feel bad for them per se. I just hope that they're getting paid well. Which I don't think they are getting paid enough, but I hope they are getting paid well.
I don't think any animator in Japan gets paid well.
I hope MAPPA does because of the work they put out.
Well, yeah, they animate like half of the simulcasts are going on.
Half of the good simulcasts.
Yeah,
Let's be clear.
Mappa's in charge of Hell's Paradise,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
But I mean, dude, like they take on so much that they did Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's ongoing right now. So... Oh, I think Hell's Paradise is the only one that are doing this.
Yeah.
We know. Are they also doing Marshall? Or is that
maybe?
I don't think so. Just because the style doesn't look like Mappa, but I could be wrong.
Can I just say something that's kind of whack about Mappa?
Huh?
They have like this new intro like animation studio.
Oh,
thing
with
that they're
the
doing
motorcycle
with the motorcycles.
thing? Yeah.
And I'm like, for a studio that animates everything so well, this is like the worst animation for a studio.
Or was it the best because it made you remember them?
I guess so. But I also remember the Pixar.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think we all love MAPPA, and they don't need to toot any horns.
Yeah.
Like, their work toots it for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Wait, so was it Mappa that did Marshall?
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's
not.
Pedro, whatever.
Nope.
I can't.
Are you trying to think of the Marshall animators?
Yeah. Or like the studio that's doing them.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
What studio is making Marshall? It is A1 Pictures.
Really?
Mhm.
That's shocking. They're also very hit or miss.
Is that a steak sauce?
It's my mom's favorite sauce, actually.
Oh my gosh.
A little tidbit for people who wanted to know about my mom's favorite sauce.
Yeah. Everyone out there wants to know what your mom's favorite sauce is.
My favorite sauce is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. My favorite sauce is the outro for one hit kill sister.
Oh my gosh.
All right. The next bit of news is the creator of Cells at Work has 2 spin-offs that he's actually coming out with. One is going to be about medicine, which falls right in line with Cells at Work.
Makes
The other one
sense.
is going to be about cats.
That's weird.
Wait, are these manga spin-offs?
Yeah,
or?
they're going to be manga spin-offs.
He's coming out with both at the same time?
Yep.
That's weird.
Isn't the whole thing like manga, like artists like barely have time to breathe when they're making one, much less 2?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's going to do. Maybe he just announced both of them at the same time, or maybe he's just maybe he's already had like them in production and now he's just going to release them in one go.
Well, so
that could be
I love Cells at Work,
Yeah.
both the manga and the anime
I wasn't a fan of the second
season.
well, it wasn't a season. They had like a second spin-off, right? Where I think I forgot what it was. What was it? Let's see.
I mean, they came out with season 2 of Cells at Work.
Well, while he's looking that up, I just looked up the manga, and it says that it ended in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's a chance that he spent 2 years kind of writing for both mangas so that he has like a stockpile of both that he can release at the same time. But that's very unusual.
Well, and not to mention, I mean, like Oda, right, for One Piece, the guy literally writes, I think it was like 12 hours a day, every single day, which is insane.
It's called Cells at Work Code Black.
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, it's weirdly enough, this has like 2 seasons.
Interesting.
Yeah, or let me make sure that they're not. No, it's just 1 season. I think Crunchyroll just put it as 2 for the different languages.
For the subbed and dubbed.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
Speaking of One Piece, I don't know if you guys heard this, but apparently he treats his assistants very poorly.
Oda?
And there's actually people that were his assistants say that he tells them explicitly before they're hired, like, prepare to give up your life for this for this manga. He says that, no, like in all seriousness. And he literally says, if you die of overworking, I will take care of your family.
Yeah.
But the expectation is that you die from overworking.
I can believe that. Just
That's
because
insane.
Like, he is probably the only mangaka that has never missed a deadline for a reason.
No, I get that, but
and
like,
it's like
that's not how you treat people.
I don't think it's worth it as that reason.
But I mean, technically at this point, if you're applying for it, you should kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah, that's like saying you should know what you're getting into when you bring your child to a Catholic church. Like, no, that's not.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take.
Like, it's not right, no matter what.
I just don't know about that one. That one's a hot take. Yeah. Anywho, so you guys know how there was the I think it was like the 60-foot Gundam that they have like in Japan.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what the details are, but apparently it's going to enter a rock paper scissors tournament.
It's gonna go rock.
You think so?
Why?
Can the hands move?
Yeah, because
I think so.
it can.
They're like this, no?
I think they can move.
Yeah, I think it's like a fully.
Now, my only concern is at the shoot, like, how long is it going to take for him to go from this to this, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be one of those things where maybe they have another mecha and they have the inputs before. You know, they input it and then they go, and then even whatever ends up happening, it was already decided before they started moving.
Oh, maybe.
Is it going against another Gundam?
I don't think so. I don't think there are other Gundams.
Yeah, I think that's like the only one.
Interesting.
People don't just have the money to make multiple 60 feet Gundams.
Why not? I'm just kidding.
Fun one, Chris. Then you tell me.
Elon Musk, we're now calling on you.
I'm just saying he has enough money to put a ship to space.
He could put a space in a ship.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I'm just saying he could build a Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he could, but will he? Probably not.
He should. Just say it'll go to Mars.
How do people like egg him to do stuff? Like, should I be like, oh, you won't
I don't think I don't think it's really an egg. I think at this point it's like he either wants to or he doesn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Next one is there's going to be another. I don't know if it's a spinoff or if it's another season. I think it's more so a spinoff of Horimiya.
Oh, you're talking about Horimiya Peace.
Correct.
Did you guys watch Horimiya?
No.
I did, yeah.
Okay, it's a slice of life romance, so it
That's
makes,
why.
yeah.
It was cute till like it went from like 0 to 100 out of nowhere.
So the reason it felt like it went from a 0 to 100 from nowhere is because there's actually a lot of scenes that they skipped. A lot of like mini arcs that they completely did not animate at all from the manga.
Do slice of lives go anywhere to begin with?
Well, they just have like tiny little like stories, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And they just completely skip them. And in a romance where you're trying to build it up and you
Oh.
skip some of those, then it feels like, oh, why are they randomly together? Which I don't feel that way, but that's because I also read the manga. They did a great job with the anime, but basically
Yeah.
Peace is going to go over all the arcs that they skipped. So it's not a sequel per se. It's more of like as things were happening in season 1, this is what happened. And the reason they chose to skip it is just they wanted to make it a one season wonder. And so they couldn't fit it all in, and so they kind of prioritized certain ones.
Yeah.
And I think it's partially because they didn't know how popular it was going to be. And I think now that it's found so much success, they're like, oh, yeah, we got to bring those scenes back.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, why even make it only one season? Because it was one of those ones where it felt so short, and I was like, wow, this really could have done with more. And honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if they continued it from where it left off.
There's no.
I know, but I'm saying, like, it wouldn't be bad if they did.
I know what you
So
mean.
is this like a season 1.5?
I think it's more of like a season 0.5.
No, it is 1.5 because that's how Lion King did it. Lion King 1.5 happens in the middle of 1.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What an obscure reference.
And is that not where you got it from?
Yeah, that's actually where I got it from.
I
Dang.
know. It's the only.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You've never seen Lion King 1.5?
Is that the one where, like,
But Timon and Pumbaa?
Timon and Pumbaa narrating it?
Yeah.
I have. But I don't know.
Hakuna Matata, man.
I'm hyped for that one though.
Yeah, I can see.
I'm like,
Because you didn't even watch the first one.
No,
why would you watch the second one?
I would say it was
1.5.
Ugh.
it was really good. So I give you that. I kind of wish that they would have just done this originally, rather than come out with it afterwards.
I agree. I get why they did it because they wanted to make it short and sweet.
Yeah.
And I don't think they ever had plans to do a 1.5. I think it was supposed to just stay at 1, and they just saw a success that they couldn't refuse.
So should it have been a 2-season banger?
It should have been, but
Or just one longer season.
yeah, maybe.
So is it 12 episodes?
I think it was pretty short.
I don't know how many episodes it was, but I think it was one of those things where they didn't have enough confidence that it would get renewed after the first season because it gets so good in the later half.
I see.
So honestly, the biggest problem that I had with Horimiya, and I really like Horimiya, was you had the relationship that was like developing with the other side characters, and then they just kind of like rushed it and kind of became weird at the end. So that was like my only gripe with it. I know that that's probably what they're going to try to explain a little bit further. But as a viewer, I wish it just would have happened naturally, like without having this 1.5.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Perfect anime. 10 out of 10.
Perfect anime. Well, obviously it wasn't a 10. They had to come out with more.
It's like having a perfect banana split, but you can add, and it's perfect, right? But you can add nuts for a different flavor.
So that doesn't make it perfect.
Yeah.
No, it's just different.
I mean,
Different stroke for different folks, I guess.
yeah, different banana for different splits. So the next one we have is something pretty wild. So in Bolivia, and you're laughing just because you probably know what I'm going to talk about. In Bolivia, the Board of Education has made some pretty interesting decisions with artwork that's happened in some of their school literature, where in some of their textbooks, there's pretty much an exact plagiarism of like things like I think it was like Your Lie in April was one.
Yeah, the cover photo, right?
Yeah, the cover photo. And essentially, it's not like they have a picture of like Your Lie in April in a Bolivia textbook. It's they took that photo and then it's like as if they like AI generated another image, but they just swapped out the kids, but in in the same exact position, just different kids.
You know, I'm really curious who did that. Because
It had
someone
to have been
had to have
direction,
done that
right?
on
It had
purpose.
well, yeah, it had been a fan.
Especially because it
Yeah.
happened more than once.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Your Lie in April.
So
I mean, that's hilarious.
I saw a post that said like Bolivia Minister of
Probably education.
yeah, probably like publicly apologizes for the plagiarism.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so funny. Like where
So, was it
else
him?
could you? Huh?
So was it him?
No,
I
I think he's just apologizing on behalf. I don't think they're ever gonna release the information on
should.
how they came out with that.
Should be praised.
It's pretty funny though.
He's culturing the next generation.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what's so funny about that is not only did that have to happen, someone had to have seen it and then actually made a fuss about that in order for that to be changed. You know what I mean? So that's pretty impressive in its own right.
Yeah. I'm really curious though, like what their next steps are. Like, are they gonna change it or are they gonna pay the Your Lie in April mangaka? Because I personally, I think they should just pay him for the rights, whatever he wants.
I mean, how does high IP work
I was going to say,
internationally?
I don't even know whether or not they can get sued because it's not a direct one-to-one. Again, they have replaced the people inside it. So it's like, are you saying that you can't have people pose in the same position without it being, you know? So I'm not sure how that works. I don't think people are even I don't think it's worth the studio's time to even go after that. Because at the end of the day, it brought them press. But it's more one of those things like, what a wild and random even place for this to have happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like Bolivia.
In a government sanctioned textbook. Like that's
Yeah.
insane.
Have you guys ever used any anime to plagiarize or for inspiration when you were in college or in high school?
For
No.
what?
No. So when I was in English, or in high school, or in university, I wrote a paper because we had to talk about like depression and whatever. So I used moderate speech and pain speech as quotes and citations.
That's cringe stuff.
But that's not plagiarizing, right?
Yeah, no.
No, but I used it.
Okay.
Mind you, I had to speak to a guidance counselor after because they thought I was overly depressed.
That's so crazy.
But, you know, sometimes anime makes great, whether it's inspirations or for plagiarism.
Yeah.
But I do think it's pretty cool to kind of see stuff like that happening more. Even though it's not our mainstream, like here in the U.S., but like being able to expand and where it's more visible for like the general population.
I think the three of us should start like just taking photos of like random anime scenes with like 3 people in it and we just copy the same pose.
That would be pretty funny.
And then just start posting it on our Instagram feeds or something like that.
Well, we are protected by parody law.
Ooh, love parody law.
That is true. Yeah, what if Bolivia's just like, it was just a parody?
It was a
parody.
purposeful
Yeah.
parody.
Yeah. All right. This next one is something I just threw in here because it's really upsetting. So in Demon Slayer, in the new season, we have the character, we get to learn a little bit more about Genya. And what really upsets me is that we find out that Genya actually doesn't use a Nichirin sword. What we actually see is that he uses pew-pews that can shoot Nichirin bullets. So my thing is, this is such a big plot hole. Because why not make Nichirin bullets and supply them to every single farmer, every single merchant? Sure, they're not going to take down an upper moon, but even if you gave them a Nichirin sword, they weren't going to take down an upper moon. But they can still take down like
your average
demon.
Yes, I agree. I thought that was so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, let's be real. Like that Nichirin bullet is much faster than
A sword.
Than a sword.
Yeah.
And much less avoidable, which we saw in this latest episode that went up, which is basically when he first enters the fight. and he just like blasts them right from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine having a rail?
Well, yeah.
So,
Or
What
even
part of don't say the word you don't want
we
to
can
Sorry.
we can bleep things
Sorry.
out, Jess.
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
But beyond that, I mean, why not make cannonballs?
Oh, that'd be a
Right?
good, because then they would. I mean, I don't know how often you can reuse it, like a cannonball.
It's
I would assume every time.
you can reuse it
Until it
consistently.
breaks.
Yeah.
or
Until it
whatever.
breaks, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good one, like a great.
So
way.
why aren't these? It's just like such a big plot hole for me.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it'd be a great way for like for instance, like Tanjiro's family probably would have been spared. Maybe not all of them, but they all
Well,
probably wouldn't have been.
No, 'cause it was
because it was
Muzan there.
Muzan.
Or Muzan, sorry.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah. No escaping Michael Jackson on that one.
yeah.
Yeah, he moonwalked all over that family.
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah, I
Well,
was
and
really
it kind of
upset.
makes the Demon Slayer core useless.
It does.
I mean,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say useless.
Useless.
Yeah, because it's like
Well, it would be like they could, rather than focusing on these weak demons, they could all focus on
like destroying the
Yeah.
upper moons.
Yes.
it's like sure, you could have all the Hashiras go for the upper moons, but why not have Hashiras mixed with like a team of like regular demon slayers under them
Yeah.
go and take out the upper moons instead of just
You
one on
mean-
ones.
You mean kind of like what Naruto does?
Yeah, it's it. I don't know.
Because at the end of the day, the breathing styles is not linked to the sword. So they could still use the breathing styles, but infuse it with their new weapon. And maybe it'll, I don't know, go faster. Maybe it's like a water
Yeah.
bullet.
It's not cool. There are breathing styles for when you're pew-pewing.
Uh-huh.
Whether that's for like follow through for like distance and like speed and everything else. So yes, it could still work.
Yeah. Like imagine like fire breathing and
Yeah.
like,
The animation for that looks so dope.
yeah.
And that's all it is. It's animation because it's not real,
Yeah.
which is sad in itself. But yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they even just provide that to every single demon slayer
I agree. Because
as well, right?
also the
It's like a
sword.
sidearm.
Well, because like
Yeah.
sometimes the swords
Y-
break.
Exactly. Like the swords take so long because they have to perfect it, right? They have these swordsmen that spend
Yeah.
a long time perfecting each sword so that they're effective. But like imagine if you just had like the grunts of that village making like a ton of bullets. Because bullets you can mass produce much, much faster than
Oh,
a
yeah.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the rounds are also a lot more forgiving than if you were to like if you bust a round, right? It's not a big deal. You bust the sword,
Big deal.
There's nothing you can do.
yeah.
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 Ridiculous.
So yeah, that was just something I had to talk about. That's news this week that Demon Slayer is becoming more mid.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? And like, I don't know, because if imagine if everybody had this, right? How much of a threat do you think Muzan would really be?
Right.
I still think Muzan himself would be a threat,
Well, he would be a threat, but
but I think
not as big.
yeah, it would like force him to have to be a lot more careful,
Yeah.
right?
Is it called Nichirin?
Yeah.
Imagine this, okay? A Nichirin bomb, right? Because we know the district he lives in, and
So
there's some casualties. But let's think about the greater
I
good,
think
right?
I don't think you would need a bomb. I think you would need more of like something that produces shrapnel.
Or
Bombs too.
Well, the
Yeah.
bombs also have like other parts.
No,
like-
make it completely out of Nichirin.
Okay.
Or I wonder if like you could turn it into a gas, because you know like how CS gas is, there's like microscopic, like I forget what they're called, but it's enough to like essentially cut.
Well,
Jump
they
in
have
and
to be
dips in.
completely beheaded. Remember?
Right, but
Yeah.
if you wanted to slow him down and find a cure,
Yeah.
and you needed to trap him, that'd be one way to do it.
You think so? You think that would slow him down? Because like just the existence of
Well,
Nichirin
It takes time for them to regenerate.
It's entering his bloodstream.
Yeah.
And
You know?
would it damage his bloodstream though? Because there has to be damage for him to be slowed down.
Well, they're imagine microscopic like little blades cutting all the way inside.
so it can't be contained in any way. We're still
No.
sacrificing the village.
No, we normally will be fine. It's not poison to us. I mean, it's gonna suck.
Well,
for
the
like,
No,
it
no,
would still
but
be
you're saying
Nichirin
that-
inside
Yeah.
of you though.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's still you're saying microscopic cuts.
Can I be honest? I feel like in this world it'd be worth it.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I think it's worth
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's worth
no
the
matter what.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
I think that's the stupidest saying that has ever existed.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it makes sense.
No, I mean,
You can't run a race without putting Band-Aids. That's what that
I
reminds
feel
me
like
of.
that the one that you said though is more akin to being like, you can't cook a steak without a cow. It's like, well, duh.
Is that true? Have you not talked to vegans?
True.
What's the next one, Tyler?
The
Give me
next
some
one
news.
is, and this one's a really weird one. The Chainsawman mangaka has actually come out and said that when he was a child, he actually ate his pet goldfish.
Are any of us surprised?
Yeah, have you not
he's
seen his
pretty-
other works?
He's a pretty disturbing guy.
Have you read Fire Punch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't read manga.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I really hope that gets
Disturbing.
animated.
It's so disturbing. I love it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it's crazy disturbing. I'm not surprised that he ate his goldfish, but at the same
But
time,
how big was the goldfish?
I don't know.
Like,
I
are
don't
we
know if
talking
it was
like,
one of those
goldfish like this, or we're
Yeah.
talking like one of the
yeah.
big
Also,
goldfish?
what age? Like, are we talking like 3 when you just kind of put anything in your mouth, or are we talking like 12? In which case, wow, that's
being
a
that he
psychopath.
Or
remembered it,
15.
I'm sure that he was at least old enough to like remember.
What's your
something
earliest
like that.
memory?
Mine's probably like 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Yeah, I would say mine's about 5, 6.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Probably earlier.
Really?
There's no way.
Well, I came to America when I was 7, and I have a lot of memories of Korea. So I have to assume that all of those memories are not just from 5 to 7.
That's fair.
Good point.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I have a memory of when my brother was in kindergarten, and he's 4 years older than me.
So
Okay. That's no.
wait, what?
No.
So you were like 1?
No.
Kindergarten?
Wrong.
No, so you were when he was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
So he's like 5.
No, kindergarten's like 6.
No, it's not.
That's first grade.
Kindergarten's 5.
Korea.
Oh,
We start our school seasons half a year later than America. So you guys start in...
But still 2?
Yeah. I have a very distinct memory of it, and when my grandparents were over, I mentioned it, and my mom was like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's really weird.
Mm-hmm. It was a very specific thing where in kindergarten he did like this thing, and I have a very distinct memory of it.
That sounds very descriptive.
yeah.
I mean, you don't want to know the story. It's not that interesting.
And it's
Did he feed you ice cream?
No. His school had like this like fair thing where each kindergarten class like sold random stuff for points, and I went as like a customer because my grandma ran the school, like ran the kindergarten, and I bought like a bunch of stuff with
okay.
fake points that I didn't actually earn, but my grandma gave me.
Interesting. All right. Chris, I'll let you kind of dive into this one, but it's about manga versus comics in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about the fact that manga outsold graphic novels as a whole
Okay.
for 2 years in a row. Yeah, a lot of that because like so it started in 2021 and in 2022. They in the top 20, it's all manga. Like
Wow.
when they say manga, it's also like light novels and stuff too.
Yeah, yeah.
Compared to like Western comics, and that's including like Marvel, DC,
And
and
this is global?
this is here in the U.S.
Oh, wow. That's even more surprising.
Yeah,
You know, like that kind of makes sense to me though. Like I feel like comics have definitely gone down in popularity. Like Western comics have gone down in popularity over the years. I mean,
you.
one, they're ridiculously expensive compared to what they used to be.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I remember comiks were $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind I know.
Yeah. I mean,
I know.
it wasn't.
I know.
Or theaters, 15 cents.
A theater was $6.50. Matinee?
For what, the matinee?
No, matinee was like $4.50.
Wow.
Dude, I used to be able to go on dates for $20.
My goodness. Now if you try going on a date with $20, it's like,
Get to be what?
yeah,
A McDonald's meal?
maybe for you guys to share.
No,
Yeah.
for like me, bro.
Yeah.
You've seen how much I eat.
That's true.
So they're not even that.
Yeah, no, but it is interesting to kind of see where the culture in the U.S. is actually moving,
Yeah.
right? Because it's steering more away from like what I grew up with when it was like, you know, so you have Superman, Batman, like the DC side, and then Marvel, it's more like Captain America, Iron Man, X-Men, you know.
I think it's twofold. Like, I think one, anime is having a big moment right now, and I say that because, like, on the streets, I see people with anime stickers all the time.
Yeah.
Which had never been the case. And it's, like, disproportionately large compared to what I assumed the anime community size was. And the other part, I think, is actually comic sales are going down, because if you think about it, everyone has superhero fatigue. I haven't watched the last, like, 3-4 Marvel movies, and I love the first, like, I don't know, 10, 20.
It's all right. The last few Marvel movies have been kind of mid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
like,
really
everyone thinks that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it too. Like for me personally, as an avid collector, like so, DC and Marvel are both guilty of this. Their stories have become so, I don't even want to say redundant. It feels like they gave up when it came to writing.
Yeah.
And they're just reskinning things. And because, like, and I get it, it's hard because Superman, I think, just celebrated his 86th birthday.
Wow.
So 86
That's
years.
crazy.
He's been around since 1938.
Yeah.
That's a
long time.
That's a long time. And I don't know, like they're starting to do the opposite of what Stan Lee said himself. Because like Stan Lee was an advocate, like he always kind of wanted to push like a lot of real life things that are going on in comics, but he even said it, you need to leave whatever story, whatever viewpoint you want in the background, and let the comics speak for itself. Don't let whatever you're trying to push lead the comic.
Yeah.
Because the moment you do that, you're gonna start pushing away X amount of viewers, X amount of readers, X amount or whatever. And manga and light novels have done a really good job and having a lot of those issues that whatever viewpoints in the background, not in the forefront.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what, plus COVID, right?
Yeah.
Like that did push a lot of like anime. People start diving into anime, especially because like Netflix was so accessible and like Hulu and Disney Plus and whatever else. So it is interesting to kind of see the culture in the U.S. go from, oh, anime is this weird, creepy thing to now, oh, it's cool now.
Yeah, yeah.
I also feel like comics have become less child friendly. You know, like I feel like nowadays every single comic book writer wants to be so edgy.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you're going to get the shot to like make the new Superman. And they're like, okay, what about in this one? Superman just kills people or does all this kind of stuff. And it's just super gory. And it's like, I understand that they're trying to be modern, but at the end of the day, you know, the thing that made some of these comics so great was these were heroes, right? It wasn't about, you know, unaliving someone. It was about, even though they have that capability, they choose to take a different route, right? And like now it's like, oh, well, now the Dark Knight's just going to be a super Dark Knight because he's going to like go and show people like, you know, what actual like vigilante revenge looks like. And it's like, but why?
Yeah, because like I know before, because like the Punisher has always been one of my favorite heroes.
Yeah.
Right. But he was like one of the very, very few like quote unquote anti-heroes, so willing to take a life.
Yeah.
Right. To get whatever objective done. When you have like people like Captain America, Batman, Superman, Flash, all these other heroes that aren't willing to take a life, which is like one of the reasons. Like I know I forget what. I forgot what series it was called, but I know it's with Maxwell Lord in DC. Wonder Woman had just beheaded Maxwell Lord, and like that was the biggest thing that happened because she got kicked out of the Justice League because they were trying to make a stand saying that that's not doing that stuff's not okay. Now it's so common, so I feel like they are losing their identity as heroes.
Yeah.
And now there's this new, well, it's not new medium, but like the medium kind of shifted. Like, oh, anime, there's all of these different types of whatever I want to watch.
It's
different
more
mangas.
creative.
It's more creative. Different art styles. It's more, I guess it's more eye catching, right?
Yeah.
And they're actual books.
Can I throw out a comic news?
Sure.
So while we're on the topic, so apparently DC is getting a lot of pushback right now because if you remember, The Flash is
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
who is in a crazy amount of controversy.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Controversy, honestly, is a light word. It's more
Yeah.
like crime.
Yeah.
But basically, the movie was pretty much almost done when all the controversies came out. In terms of editing, like it was shot way before that.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna release the movie anyway, obviously. And they did a screening, and they basically were like, "Yeah, this is like a great movie." And he's working on getting, or they are working on getting all the help that they want or they need in order to become a better person. And they came out with like a statement like that, and everyone was like, "Oh, I mean, like." I get that you want to push the movie, but do you truly think that what he did is like something that he needs to work on, or is that something that he needs to go to jail for and the victims need help?
Is this? Are they apologizing for that 16-year-old girl, or are they apologizing for yeah?
All of it.
I mean, like regardless, it doesn't make it any better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be like for me, like I'm gonna watch the film, but it's like one of those things that I'm just gonna separate the art, like the person from the movie.
Yeah.
And just think of it as the Flash.
It was just weird that they came out to defend him.
Yeah.
That is whack. I mean, technically, they should have just been like, look, we don't condone what he did. Unfortunately, look, we made the movie. We already spent X amount of whatever dollars. It is what it is. I mean, like the whole,
I would have appreciated that.
The whole universe is getting a revamp anyways.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're gonna have to see him as the Flash again. You know.
All right. Moving on to the next anime news. There's actually been some backlash pretty recently from none other than your favorite community, Chris, the Dragon Ball community. Essentially,
the best community.
Essentially, the studio that was producing Dragon Ball Super, they've obviously had Dragon Ball on hiatus for a while now, and they announced that they were coming out with an original anime called Girls Band Cry, which, by the way, they only have a cover photo for it, but the artwork looks very cool, as opposed to Bochi Rock, where it's very like, kind of cutesy, very stock. Like this is very like punk rock, like anime vibes, which I think is very interesting, and it's a different take on the genre that we haven't really seen.
That's really cool.
And I'm excited to see it. And I don't get why there's backlash, and it feels like or backlash. Like, why is that a problem? Like I get that Dragon Ball Super has been on hiatus for a while, but why take it out on a different like work that probably has nothing to do with Dragon Ball?
Well, I feel like a lot of people don't understand how slotting works when it comes to anime, right?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you this wasn't just slotted yesterday or 2 weeks ago or a month ago or even last year.
Yeah.
That was probably in the works for like 2 years. So to get mad at, and mind you, I've seen it. It looks great. I like original anime content that doesn't really necessarily have a source material.
Yeah.
Because
like 86.
Yeah, like 86, because I have nothing to compare it to, which means I can just enjoy it.
Just do what I do.
Source material.
Huh?
86 does have a source material.
No, the what was it called?
86 doesn't have source material.
Yeah, it does.
Oh.
No, but this.
No, he said
girls,
like 86, and then you said but I was
Girls
like,
Band Cry.
Girls
Yeah.
Band Cry. No,
Yeah.
but because like Project K.
Yeah.
Amazing, right? So I'm not gonna say this is like a Project K, but
it might be a nice.
Yeah.
It might be a nice new like addition to the genre of music.
and like I know that because we keep getting teased that like, oh, it's coming next summer. It's coming next summer. It's coming next summer, and like I don't know. I don't understand why people are getting upset over something that the animators themselves have no control over. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna go up to the big wigs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this is gonna bring us money now, not later. So we're gonna put this out right now.
And do we really need
Yes.
more Dragon Ball Z?
Yes. Do not see my arm.
Who is that? A vegetable?
Not vegetable.
Chris was the one that told me he's literally named Vegetable.
Yes, Vegeta. Yes.
Yeah,
it's
you said
vegetable.
Vegeta is based off of vegetable.
No.
So you can't be mad when I call him Vegetable.
He's the prince of all Saiyans.
Is he the prince of all vegetables?
No, Saiyans.
Mm.
Who's the king?
His dad.
Oh,
King Vegeta.
I should have known. That was a stupid question.
Also, but his name is Vegeta.
His dad's name?
Yeah, King Vegeta.
So he's Vegeta Jr.?
Wait, is Vegeta their last name?
No. Just like Planet Vegeta?
So, no, you're kidding.
No.
There's no way it's King and Prince Vegeta on Planet Vegeta.
Yes.
What are their brothers? Oh, does he have brothers?
No.
Does he have uncles?
I take that back. He does have one brother.
What's his name?
I forget his. It's something stupid. He's
okay,
weak,
so it's not Vegeta.
No.
Okay.
All right.
But
Let's.
really quick, the original name of Planet Vegeta was Planet Salada. Planet Salad.
That's so funny.
But anyways, go on.
All right. So this is actually a pretty interesting one. The person that made Suzume actually came out and said that they actually wanted Suzume to originally supposed to be about a love story between two girls. And
Suzume the movie?
Suzume the movie. And the reason for that was they said that the same person that made Suzume, I think, made I forgot what other anime movie it was. But essentially it was another romance, and they had said that they felt like they had already touched on the boy and girl story, and they feel like that genre is kind of played out every way that it could be played out, and they wanted to kind of move into something new. So I think that's very interesting. I can see why, like, you know, the movie studio, especially like in some place like Japan, may have had like some hesitancy. I think it would have been good to see that representation.
I think it would have been better than what it is now if he was a girl, honestly.
But at the same time, I hear it's supposed to be a really good movie. It's something I haven't gone around to watching yet.
Yeah, I haven't gone because like there's two different endings, right?
No. I think you're thinking of the one where you can watch the two movies in reverse.
Yeah.
This one is the one where the guy is trying to close the doors.
Into a chair.
But he turns into a chair, yeah. Here's the thing. I know there's a kiss scene in the movie. I don't know if there's other kiss scenes in the movie where she kisses him at the chair. But, like, would it really be that bad? I mean, I know Japan is, like, back in the day, at the time, like, you know. But would it be that bad if a girl kissed a chair that just happened to be a girl? Like, is she still just kissing a chair?
I don't think they're going to distinguish the difference. Like honestly, like in Japan. Like, because we didn't really get any representation when it comes to, like, the LGBTQ plus community in the U.S. till, like, what? 6-7 years ago ish.
Yeah,
I guess you're right.
So like Japan, a place where they still use fax machines and like things like that. It's gonna take a while, especially when the majority of the population is older.
Yeah, and I think they probably thought too that being that parents are probably going to take their kids to see this movie, that they were going to have a lot of backlash from parents, which I don't think is right. I think at the end of the day, like, a story is a story.
Yeah,
I don't think that should impact it that much. I think there's more to the story than just the love part. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I would like to have seen what her original idea was, because I wonder if it was more than just them being, you know, like two girls, or maybe she had more than, like, maybe the person never turned into the chair, right? Like, maybe there is more to that, but they just added on top of it.
Why does he turn into a chair?
When the door opens, a magical cat comes out of it, because basically with each door he has to close it, or else great calamity comes out of the door. And so a magical cat came out and basically was like, I don't like you, and then turned him into a chair and then left. Yeah. So the whole anime focuses on the girl and the chair trying to catch the cat to turn him back, but also to close the gate, of course.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So moving on to more news, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, I know this is a controversial one because is it an anime?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
But that being said, I just wanted to bring it up because they've confirmed 3 new films, animated films, and it's going to be about them as grown-ups.
I'm hyped.
Yeah.
Hyped.
You know what's the one? Because I don't know if they confirmed it yet, which you can tell me if they did or not. Because I know in the comics,
there's Zuko and his mom.
When he looks for his mom, that's the best arc.
Yeah.
They have to come out with that, because that would be the #1 movie.
Oh, I would love. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little, but I found out why she didn't recognize him or anything.
Oh,
I was like, wow. I mean, I get it. I'd be like, that sucks, but that's.
Honestly, I don't have enough like Aang and Katara and Sokka, like that crew in my life, and Zuko, obviously.
Yeah, you know, and like honestly, Zuko to this day, I still think has one of the best redemption arcs ever to be produced.
The best.
Yeah, like hands down.
Name one better. Yeah, like I really don't have any. Like he has the best redemption arc.
He went from the worst villain to essentially being Aang's master for fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm excited because if they do that arc, and if they do the arc where like when Aang first builds whatever that, I forget the name of that city, that
the air temple.
No, the metro city, the one that takes place in Korra.
Yeah, I get
yeah, like the start of that, I think would be pretty dope.
Yeah,
and to see him actually fully powered.
Well,
would be nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited to see. Him just fully powered.
So I don't think we're gonna get the Zuko arc, and the only reason I say that is they released, and maybe this isn't for all the movies, but they released the images of what age they're gonna kind of be, and it does look like they are a little bit past the age of when Zuko would have had that confrontation.
If they make it so that he might be a little older than what he was supposed to be, but he still has that arc, I would be okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be upset that he was
or it could be a flashback.
Old. That's true, yeah.
So
I hope so. I hope so.
Or even, what was his sister's name?
Azura?
Azura.
Yeah.
What happens to her after?
Crazy.
Yeah, it'd be dope to see.
Yeah.
That like. Anyways, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
It's gonna be so good. Did they give us a release date or no?
I'd have to double check, but I don't remember. Even better news, and it's a double whammy of good news. One, Boruto is on hiatus.
Finally.
Yeah.
We don't need any more of that.
250 episodes or 60 episodes later.
Yeah.
Two, Minato previous generations, the manga at least, has been confirmed, meaning we're going to get to see a little bit more about Minato.
I'm excited.
Which is great because that means we're going to get to see what the third great ninja war.
Yeah. And he had the whole run on site.
Yeah.
That
being said, we know how the manga's going to end.
Him being a loving father, Jess.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to see it end, okay?
Like, isn't that crazy? We know how it ends.
It's not about the ending. It's about the journey.
Oh.
I'm just excited that Kishimoto is actually going to come back for this.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, Minato just definitely deserves Kishimoto's attention. I understand why he tried to pass off Boruto. That being said, I think it was a mistake.
A very poor decision.
And I get the person tried his best, but I'm just excited for Kishimoto to come back for this.
So I have a question. Yeah. Is Minato getting his own manga because of that one poll?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the top 99.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because I remember the poll and everyone was like hyped and we didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
And now that I know that Minato's getting like a whole series out of it, I'm very sad. I'm going to get hated for this because obviously Minato's the favorite, that Itachi didn't win. But I would have loved that.
I'm kind of glad Itachi didn't, just because we already know Itachi's full story.
Yeah.
We've seen what he's done.
I know Minato's full story.
No, but we don't know what he actually did. And like we never got to see what he did.
Not to mention, there's a lot of characters with Minato's journey, right? So we don't just have like Minato, we have
Obito.
We have
Kakashi.
Obito, we have Kakashi, we have Jiraiya. Fugaku? We have him being trained by Jiraiya. Hopefully we get to see like a toad arc.
Yeah,
right, where
that'd be
he gets
great.
to learn Sage mode, or even just like the summoning, because we don't really see whether or not he could have learned Sage mode.
And we don't know what other jutsus he's actually done.
Yeah.
Other than the Rasengan.
So there's been a lot of, I would say there's a lot of hype, and rightfully so.
See, even though personally, I always forget his name. In the first Kage meeting, you had it would have been Naruto's great grandfather or whatever, the Uzumaki, white hair, because I know he was on the roster to essentially get his own manga.
Yeah,
because it would have been so cool to actually get a full story about the Uzumakis, just because we really don't know a lot about them other than the fact that they were very strong. They had a lot of chakra, and it took 4 other great nations to bring them down.
Pretty much wiped them out completely.
I would say, seeing as though Minato's getting his own manga, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for us to get an Uzumaki arc, since he does marry an Uzumaki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kushina, yeah.
Yeah.
So which would be cool to see, but like, I don't know, like back then to see them because that was before they had a relationship, like the Leaf and them.
Yeah.
But still, I'm so happy with the fact that Minato won. So
I'm kind of scared about this manga because of how upset I was about Boruto.
But you can't blame him. He made Boruto. Kishimoto made Boruto the movie, which was good.
yeah, no, the last, right?
No, Boruto, like the movie.
The movie, like
Because he made
Naruto movie about Boruto.
Yeah.
Before Boruto came out.
Naruto, the last, I think, was about Naruto and
Hinata fighting
not that one.
Tsurenai or whatever.
Not that one.
Not that one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So.
But I know that he wasn't involved and he is now. But I'm trying not to get my hopes up because best case scenario is he's going to completely surpass my expectations because my expectations were low. Worst case scenario is I get my hopes up and it's just like not that good.
So keep in mind, and this is why I have high hopes for it, they didn't mess up the power scaling. So they have no excuse of the reason why Boruto is so bad is because they had to reduce the power because they already brought the power so high up. So essentially, we're going to go back to just standard good ninja fights.
Okay.
Which I'm excited for.
Yeah. I mean, we got a clip of what part of it looks like when we got to see him versus Killer B and A.
Yeah.
Ooh,
right?
I love Killer B.
So that was a sick fight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see more things like that.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm overall just excited for that. Before we kind of finish up this podcast, though, I feel like all three of us have recently been trying to get each other to watch different animes.
Yes.
And so I did, go ahead, and I think it would be good for all of us to give a recommendation to the other two of what we think would be good, and for us to watch 10 episodes, or at least 10 episodes, and get back and say, is this an anime we would continue? Do we actually like it? And give our honest opinions.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you guys want, I'll start us off. An anime I would recommend to you that you guys haven't watched is it's called Anti-Magic Academy 35th Platoon. Essentially, it's about an academy where they train like groups of, I would guess, officers in order to use like pew-pews to help with removing potential threats that use magic. Now it follows a ragtag team of like people that, they're really good at what they do individually, but they can't work as a team. And even when they do, they just cause a big mess. They cause too much damage. And someone that was a very like big higher up in the ranks actually ends up getting dropped down to their level and joins their team. Now, even though that's the person that like gets dropped down, and you would think that would be the main focus. The main focus is actually around a character that can't actually use pew-pews. He uses a sword.
Oh.
So he can't, so he just fights fully with a sword and has some of the best fight scenes. Look, is it going to have some anime tropes? Yes. However, the fight scenes are great. The story is great. There's actually the story, and then there's an underlying story of why he uses the katana and what his main goal is. And you get to that. And luckily, you guys are going to have the privilege of watching most of it because it's actually only 12 episodes.
Oh, wow. That's short.
Yeah.
Honestly, I might just finish it.
Yeah.
Just
why not go 2 extra episodes,
Exactly.
right?
I hate leaving things unfinished.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Unless it's really bad.
Yeah.
So highly recommend that to both of you. And yeah, if let me know what you guys think, because it's one of those ones where I think not enough people know about it.
Okay.
And yeah.
I just looked it up, and it does look like the animation style's pretty good.
Yeah, I
it's
looked
not
it
like
up too.
And what's interesting,
basic.
it's like it's a fairly old anime for having such good animation style.
2015.
It's not that bad, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. The one I'm gonna recommend for you guys is something I've been trying to get Chris to watch for a while now. Takt Op Destiny. And so this follows, basically it's like our world, but imagine if a big crater like thing came and like monsters get released, and the monsters are very much attracted to music. And so music gets banned all throughout the world. I mean, you can play it, but you're going to attract a huge monster to your house. And these are huge monsters that no one could defeat. Like, no one. Because, you just don't have that kind of power. And basically what evolved out of this was music arts. And these are people that pretty much, they're called music arts. That's like their title, but they fight the monsters and they have like all magical abilities. They're very, very strong, and they actually have to use the life force of a composer-esque person. So like a regular human, and like basically you guys would bond, and like every time she needs to power up into her full power mode, she needs to pretty much take your life force. And so it's a really good series. That's like the general premise, and it follows this one guy who, I'm going to spoil something. It happens in the first episode, like basically loses his like would-be girlfriend / like best friend / the only person in this world that cares about him, because as in all animes, he's an orphan. Yeah. The only person in the world that really, really cares, like besides her sister who takes care of him, right? And so he loses her, and her body gets possessed by a music art. And so it follows their journey. And it has a lot of plot twists. It's really good. It's action-packed. And I just looked it up, and it's also only 12 episodes, so you're going to end up finishing it.
Yeah. Well, that's really short.
Yeah.
Surprising.
And it's basically, it ends in a place where the world is not wrapped up.
Oh, don't lock yourself out, Jess.
I know. I got too excited. The world is not wrapped up, but he gets like kind of an ending, and you can actually pick up the story in the game.
Like a video game?
A video game. They made this with the sole intent, a whole anime with the sole intent of promoting their game, which is the sequel to the series.
Is this a mobile game? Or
I
like
don't know. I haven't played it. I thought it was a great ending. I didn't think it needed more, so I just kind of stopped it. I was like, quit while I'm ahead,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to recommend you guys something a little older, not old.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
Super. I'm kidding. No. It's called Fate Zero.
Okay.
I don't know how much about Fate Zero. Remember, actually put the zero, otherwise you're going to have like another 30 Fate series come up.
Yeah.
Oh,
specifically
like not Z-E-R-O.
No, zero. The number zero.
Got it.
I'm glad you're recommending this, because I've seen clips of it, and the animation looks incredible.
Dude, so it's made by Studio Ufotable, and it's honestly, the animation's held up so well, it's ridiculous. And if you like anything like historical, like when it comes to like historical figures, like King Arthur, like you like Alexander the Great, you like things like that. So essentially, it's a magic tournament, and you get one wish. The winner gets one wish.
Okay.
And so there are seven casters that get chosen to participate in this tournament. And from that 7, they each have to get a relic to summon a hero or a villain from the past. And they work together as a team to kill everybody else, because you need everybody else's magical energy to turn on the Holy Grail that grants you any wish you want. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
So in this, there are no heroes. It's just whoever can outwit and out-destroy the rest gets their wish.
So I've never watched any of the Fate series, and I know you just mentioned that there's like a ton of them. Mm-hmm. Are they all in the same world? Are they the same plot? What's going on with that?
So there are four main timeline ones.
Uh-huh.
And so from 0, because of the wish that's granted, if you guys make it all the way to the end, like you'll see what I mean. From 0, that's when 2 timelines started. Okay. And from that point, it's kind of what zigzagged everything else. But from the main timeline, there's like 4.
Okay. And then they're all in the same world. It doesn't follow the same people?
No.
Oh, okay.
Remember, they had to take each other's life. So no.
Okay.
So quite literally. And it does toy with a lot of emotions in ways that you don't really necessarily think it would. Like, because you essentially have to put yourself in a situation where it's like, because you don't get to choose what type of hero you get selected for.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
like you either get a saber class, you get an archer class, you get a rider class. There's an assassin class.
Okay.
So like you don't know what you're gonna get till it's there.
Interesting.
So it's random, and you have to hope that you have the right. You get a good relic that had a strong enough attachment to summon somebody strong.
Yeah.
And each hero has a different class.
Okay.
So with A, B, like your typical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's actually really, really dope. I'm guessing once you watch it, you'll find out who my favorite character is very soon.
Okay.
You guys know me decently well by now. So
Yeah. Is there
I'll
a vampire?
give it a guess. Yeah, if there's a vampire,
Yeah.
that's it.
I
Or
wish.
an elf?
No. Wait. So all these people existed at one point in history.
Okay.
Like, actually existed in history.
Okay.
Okay.
I probably have a few guesses, but I'll hold off until I watch
Yeah.
it.
It was like one of the first animes to get animated into 1080p.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting and yet depressing. 1080p, man, how far we've come.
Yeah.
Back in the beats that 720p, we always have to watch.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
default 720. Man, the 360 sometimes. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh, the YouTube days. I don't know if you remember that when
Yeah.
you had to
Yeah,
watch in the
I
parts.
do.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
360 really, that was bad. That was a bad
Yeah.
time.
That's when you were desperate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you've made it this far, we're so incredibly grateful. Join us again next week on Wednesdays and Fridays. Have a good one.
Bye.
Right?